Good afternoon and welcome to CTV Sports. I'm Dale Schwetz.
And good afternoon. I'm Jan-Erik Frank.
And we're live from the CTV studios. There's a beautiful shot of the Tonkawa Polo Farm. Grand Champions Polo Club, we're bringing you the 2023 World Polo League Triple Crown of Polo. Yeah, and we got Richard Mille going against Dazos LaFe today. Let's beat the players.
Yeah, let's do indeed. Let's start off with Dazos LaFe. Now, we might have a slight alteration in the way they're lining up. We're going to go based on the way they lined up last time, and that was Robbie Bilbao at number 1, playing off 6 goals, and Nick Roldan at number 2, the first of our 2 8-goalers in here, De Carril, the second 8-goaler at number 3, and David Faracci. We've got him down as number 4 because we know that Louis Develix normally plays that position. He's a 0-goaler. That team is 22 goals. Louis Develix, of course, 1 goaler. David Faracci, 0. That makes them 22. So they will get 3 on handicap. Richard Mille, excuse me, in today, and delighted to welcome him on board here for the World Polo League. Jeff Hildebrand in at 0. Then the 10-goaler, that is Pablo McDonough at number 2. And then we've got 2 brothers, Miguel Novillo Estrada, the 8-goaler at number 3, and Alejandro Novillo Estrada, the 7-goaler, playing more like 8 or 9. At number 4, playing, I say, of 7 goals. Your 2 mounted officials this afternoon are Gaston Dorignac and Esteban Ferrari. And as always, field side, our instant replay official and third man. A very good afternoon to you, Mr. Steve Lane.
Yeah, and they're going to go ahead and make the switch today with Dazos LaFe, as David will go ahead and go to the number 1 position. And Robbie Bilbao will play the number 2. Nick Roldan will play the number 3, and Harold De Carril will play the number 4, in that David wears the number 1 when he plays, and Louis Develix wears the number 4 when he plays.
Exactly.
And even though they do play a 4-man rotation with both teams, and there will be a 2-goal handicap. Okay. So there will be a 2-goal handicap.
So here they are then, the players just greeting each other, about to get this 6th game of the World Polo League Triple Crown 2023 underway. Very much looking forward to this game. You can see there the mounted official, Gaston Esteban, just giving a few words of instructions. And there you can see at number 1, just crossing that halfway line, there is Jeff Hildebrand. Number 3 there in the navy dark blue shirts with a bit of white sprinkled. That was Nick Roldan. And there is Hero De Carril.
Dazos, some exciting looking jerseys are wearing there today. And this is a beautiful place to play polo here, the Tonkawa Polo Farm in Wellington, Florida. Actually, about a mile or so from the Santa Rita Polo Farm.
Yep, just up the road.
In the same vicinity in Wellington, Florida. And always kept at a high level here at the Tonkawa Polo Farm. And so Jeff Hildebrand, owner of the Tonkawa Polo Farm, playing with Richard Mille today and filling in for Melissa Ganzi. As Melly played in the first game, now Jeff will pick up.
And that first ball has been thrown into play. So best of luck, of course, from everybody here at CTV Sports to both teams. Now then, let's have a little look at how these 2 teams have fared so far. Dazos LaFe won their opening game, beating Kwaiton Z. Very close, 9-8, so they're 1-0. Richard Mille lost their first to Audi, a reverse there of the score, 8-9, so they are 0-1. So I'm pretty sure we will see Richard Mille coming out pretty strong here, because they'll be looking for their first win here of the Triple Crown 2023.
Yeah, very important as we've seen that. Remember, you have the 2 brackets of 4, and the 2 top teams will advance to the semifinals, playing a cross bracket. First place team play against the second place team in the cross bracket and vice versa. And on the move And field one here at the Tonko Polo Farm, as all the fields have been this year from the World Polo League, very fast and moving, and the players taking advantage of that as they open it up here with Nick Roldan. Nick, he'll turn it inside. We're going to send David forward, and also now Harrow comes from the number 4 position, and he'll go ahead and work it across center field, back to the center, in between 2 players, as it looks like they're looking for Nick. And they come there, and you will get a whistle on the play with a turning call. So you watch this play come across the center of the field here. Miguel, he drags it across a bit more. Then, well, actually, Nick tries to grab it. And you can see how right there we had Pablo McDonough on the right-of-way within 2 strides on the turn. So they'll go ahead and move this down to the 60-yard mark for a penalty 4.
Yeah, very unfortunate. They're very unlucky. Nick getting caught there. Tried to pick up that broken play. And while doing so, as you said, Dale, just cutting across that right-of-way. So we have our first penalty of the game. There he is, the 10-goaler, Pablo McDonough. Would suggest that the way he's looking at that ball, he will do the honors and take the first penalty here for Richard Mille. He took a shot and it went out to the left-hand side, so not quite yet up to full speed.
Remember, we are using the challenge system today, Jan, so we are going to have each challenge, 1 challenge per half, per team. So 2 challenges per team in the game. You need to use them or lose them in each half, and all the triggers are in place. We'll talk about the triggers more as the game goes on. Here comes Nick.
Roldan gets the ball up and over, or towards at least, I should say, that halfway line. Immediately gets a challenge coming in from Alejandro Navijo Estrada, who, of course, we are delighted to see back in the saddle after his injury he picked up a little earlier in the season. Still Nick. Now the ball's over that halfway line. Now he's another one of those big hitters. I don't know if we've already mentioned it, but, of course, the 2-point conversion. And that looked like it nearly had the length to go all the way. Remember, 2-point conversion meaning that the ball needs to be a minimum of just behind the halfway line. And if a player scores from there, that will be an automatic 2-pointer. Now then, a shot on goal, not quite from that halfway line. Del Carril just puts it wide. So both teams still slightly having to adjust their aim here.
Yeah, back and forth, up and down the field. And getting shots on goal, each team just a little bit wide to the left, wide to the right. But both teams, as Jan's saying, still feeling each other out a little bit, trying to find those open seams in the defense, trying to get the offense moving. And especially as you bring Alejandro back from his injury. We're good to see, happy to see that. And also Jeff Hilderman coming in now on the Richard Mille team. So take a chucker or so, just get that flow going. Right here, this one bounces off a player, turned back inside by Alejandro, and then he gets hit down the center. And just a good read here by McDonough. Pablo's going to read that one and catch players coming from right to left on your screen. And that'll drop the ball from the spot. 4:17 on the clock for a penalty 5A. And this one is 2-point. Well, they can actually tap this one up. Yeah, so I wonder if Alejandro might tap it to the center. We'll see if he just goes for 1. Yeah, he's going to go for 1. He had about 10 yards he could have used there. Went for the 1-timer. And spun around by Miguel.
Yeah, there's the under the neck shot. He saw there was a player going up the field. Brother Alejandro tried to pick that up on the near side, but it's going to be left and turned around very quickly and cleanly here by Del Carril. Yeah, well, I say cleanly. Well, it wasn't that clean because Alejandro Navijo Estrada stuck by his man. Easy pickings here for the 7-goaler. Richard Mille picking up their first goal of the game.
Yep, Alejandro doing what he does well. We call him secret sauce for that reason. And he has been very strong on the offensive side of the stick for all of the teams he's played on this season, wearing the 4, but going forward here, it's just a broken play, and he's in the right spot. And nice 4-legged athlete right there, spins around from very quick. Del Carrillo trying to get back for the hook, and that'll take us to our first courtesy change of the day. And there's a good shot of Robbie Bilbao wearing the number 2. He said David Ferracci and Louis Devlix, they split the games up. Sometimes they play it at the same time. They'll play half and half. And David is a A-rated player, and Louis is a 1-goal player.
Well, I've got to say, Del, I do like the shirts. Very nice coloured shirts. Important, of course, always is the size, and I don't know how it is in America.
Yeah, very stylish.
The size of the numbers. There is also a rule and a regulation as to the minimum size, in England at least, that's how it used to be, that the number on the shirt has to have a minimum size so it's easily identifiable. Is that not the case?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure on that. I've never seen that in that could be on the number on the back or the front.
Back.
Well, all those numbers are pretty large right there.
So
we've seen different shirts different ways. I've never seen that in a for committees or in the USPA. Or I mean, just said any not for the World Polo. I'd have to see to check on that on the size of the numbers. We'll check it out. As we know, as our tournament committee is so involved with everything that happens here in the World Polo League, and hence the 2-point conversion from center, which has been, the talk of the town. As we say, here comes Nick, working it in. They come together quickly, though, and it's going to be Harold.
Carrillo around the outside. Nice little play there from the number 1. David Ferracci taking on the 10-goaler. I like that. Del Carrillo around the outside. He's found a little gap now. He just needs to get, he didn't have to anymore. He got past him, Alejandro Navijo Estrada. So Del Carrillo picks up the first one for Dazos LaFe.
Good work here as Harold works by Miguel offside near side. Then he tries to work it here, and just bad luck there for Alejandro. It's take the post out and save the goal, or, early in the game here. You got to be careful, now especially coming off an injury. And still would have been difficult, even if he did try to go inside that post. But he's going to win the ball in here and get it moving for Richard Mille.
Nice little ball up to the front door, possibly with Jeff Hildebrand's name on it. Well, he was just beaten there to it by Nick Roldan. Nice open backhand. First man on the ball will be the number 2 in light blue for Richard Mille. That, of course, 10-goaler Pablo McDonough, intercepted by Nick Roldan. Little chip shot. He will turn this pony on. You watch very quickly, but going back with him is brother Miguel Navijo Estrada. Once again, Pablo has possession, can turn it, could possibly shoot. There is that shot. Del Carrillo already looking over the shoulder, seeing who's turning. Nick was the first man. You could see there in the corner of his eye, turning his pony. So Nick now, can he get a little bit of distance from his own goal mouth? Coming back in for the challenge, McDonough. Left behind, picked up now by Miguel Navijo Estrada. Now he might have a clear run on goal. Can Bilbao do anything to stop this one from going through? Well, he has, because he's just put it wide.
Yeah, good second effort here by Robbie Bilbao to catch up. Looked like Miguel was out in front of him far enough to finish that one off. I think the approach shot just was overshot to the right side there as he dragged that one across on the next shot. So here you go. Dazos LaFe will get possession here as we click under a minute. He's going to find Nick.
Now then, can Nick Roldan pick up another one for Dazos LaFe before the end of the first? Chucker on the halfway line. Nicely done from McDonough to find Navijo Estrada. This time, of course, Miguel Alejandro there with the maroon-red helmet. He's playing the number 4, brother. Miguel, number 3. Over on the far side, once again, a nice break for Dazos LaFe. There is the ball into or towards that goal mouth. Opens up the shoulders very nicely. And that is a cracking goal here. Great combination play for Dazos. LaFe coming to you by David Faraci.
Yeah, nice finish here by David. As Louis, when he was playing, does the same thing. He pulls the team, and they use him up in front. And it's a great pass here by Nick on the near side neck shot. And then just pull out the putter stroke. And a very nice shot there by Dave Faraci. And that's going to go ahead and end our first Chucker play. So we'll send everybody off for some fresh four-legged athletes, and we'll be back for our second Chucker of the 2023 World Polo League Triple Crown of Polo.
This is a championship meet. All the best jockeys in the world are here, and I'm excited to ride against them. And you get to watch some really incredible, talented athletes out there.
To us, it's a place to be in the winter.
I love Gulfstream Park because of the racing.
The palm trees, the beach is right here. The horse racing is some of the best in the country.
A lot of good horses come out of here. And if you want to go to the next level, Gulfstream Park was the place to come.
I remember the first time I came to Gulfstream, it was like this big fairy tale place. All the history.
Shoemaker sitting perfectly still. He hasn't touched this magnificent colt, and here comes the finish.
And all these great horses, trainers, jockeys. It was everything that I ever dreamed of.
Welcome back here to our second Chucker play here on CTV Sports. We're live from the Tonkawa Polo Farm, Grand Champions Polo Club for the 2023 World Polo League Triple Crown of Polo Chucker number 2.
And it's been a bit thin on the ground here as far as goals are concerned. 2 coming on the account of Dazos LaFe, 1 courtesy of Herita Carril, 1 courtesy, and that was a great goal right at the end there by David Faraci. For Richard Mille, only Alejandro Navijo Estrada picking up that 1 goal. Remember, Dazos LaFe coming in off 22 goals. They were given 3 goals on handicap. Richard Mille in off 25 goals. But it is early doors, early days here as we go back to the action and watch Mr. 10-goaler Pablo McDonough pick up this ball from the throw-in. McDonough on the near side. Has he put enough power into that one to go through? Well, no, he hasn't. He's just put that one wide. Looked like a very nice run here by Richard Mille and Pablo McDonough.
Yeah, nice attempt here. They win the bowl in, and Pablo, first opportunity shooting at goal. He actually picked up a few penalties for the Richard Mille team early, the ambassador of Richard Mille. But back and forth, turned around, and it'll be Nick Rodan to go and gather this one up to get Daz LaFe back on the offensive side.
Nice long ball over to the right-hand side. Again, feeding and looking for David Faraci. Opens his shoulders, the 2 number 1s, shoulder to shoulder. Overriding comes Alejandro Navijo Estrada. He will leave it for brother Mikel, who sends it back. And that's what you call brotherly love. Back to McDonough with the idea of sending it on to Alejandro. Because as we say, Dale, we do like it when he plays that rotation as well.
Yeah, you got it. They're going to open this ball up into the left side. And right there, you have a player coming. One player going up and down the field. One player coming across the field. that ball on a quick line change as McDonough is going to change the line up and down the field. Roldan coming across the field to steal that play. And they're going to go ahead and move this one down. So remember, both teams have challenges in the first half. They may challenge any call or any ball placement that the umpires choose to, which fouls to blow on, and ball placements where they choose to put the ball. Each team has the ability, 15 seconds after the play is announced or the ball is placed, then they can challenge the play. Looks like it's going to be Pablo McDonough to do the honors here for Richard Mille on the 60-yard penalty 4, just wide of the right.
So, dodging another big bullet there. Dazos LaFe. That could have easily been another one here in favor of Richard Mille. And this young man, Hero de Carril, out to the left-hand side, looking for and finding Mr. Roldan. Now it's a long ball, just short of the halfway line. Nick checking his pony there. He'll have another look. That's a nice ball if it then gets over on his stick side. I think that's what he was waiting for. Yes, he was. Got a piece of it. Hildebrand overridden. Picked up again on the near side by the number 2 by Bilbao. And left once again for McDonough. But there was a whistle on that play.
Nick's going to go ahead and change. Well, another quick line change. Nick Roldan, though, is going to be involved in this one. He's going to flip the ball out to the right side. And then we're going to go ahead and close the gap there. And they're going to call a blocking foul or reaching. We'll see what they decide to do here, the Richard Mille team. And it looked like that ball was right around the 60. Just under, 5:28 on the clock here. Might get a challenge. So you would have a challenge there, and Richard Matrix, second chucker challenge, 5 minutes, but they're going to save a penalty 2. And they're going to lose their challenge. The call will stand. So the Dazos LaFe with a bit of an advantage now, as they'll have one challenge here for the rest of the remaining half, which is almost 2 full chuckers. And a nice stroke here by Hero del Carrillo to pick up penalty 2.
And that is his second goal of the afternoon. So Dazos LaFe, Dale, remember they came in with 3 goals. They've now scored 3. Extending their lead quite nicely. I'm sure that'll be very much to the liking of Louis Develix, who we think we saw him down there. So good afternoon, Louis. Hope you're enjoying your game and your team. Ball's back in play. Richard Mille will fight for possession. There it is. McDonough on the near side. Carril now having to go back as Secretary of Defense. Everything on the near side there by McDonough. Miguel Navijo Estrada will try and finish what McDonough started. And there is that shot, but it's just gone wide. 4.5 and counting left to play here in the second chucker.
So a nice attack as they come in here. They get it inside, battling it, and it bounces off the pony right there. Ooh, it just miss hit there. It looked like the ball got hit underneath. I don't know if they're going to call a penalty on this or not. Maybe they are going to call a penalty on the blocking. Yeah, they're going to call blocking on the play. So we're sure there when it got stuck underneath Nick. Remember, there's the player moving there. Was he there? They're going to say he was moving there. And that'll give an open goal penalty 2. And it's going to be Miguel Estrada to do the honors and be successful here on the open goal.
So, goal number 2 here, both coming by the Estradas, Miguel and Alejandro, the 2 brothers, of which I believe there are 4. Is that right, Dale?
Of the what?
Of the brothers, there are 4.
Yep. 4.
4 minutes on the clock. Ball back in play. Alejandro Yeah, you can see there as Jeff Hildebrand just wanted to clear the way. Now then, can Alejandro with the final third touch, I believe that will have been, put that one through. That would have been a nice little back-to-back goal scenario. Just puts it wide. And this time it looks like it's going to be Nick Roldan to take the knock-in. And of course, remember at the halftime break, all the halftime stats, knock-ins, possessions, throw-ins, penalties, fouls will all be coming up on your screen. I'd like to also very much welcome, I believe we've got some friends from Germany, from Berlin in Wellington this afternoon. Jürgen and Romish Schneider, nice to have you with us. Hope you're enjoying the high goal action here. As well as a few other people that I believe have made the long way to be here for the World Polo League. And it's so nice when they come from all corners of the world, Dale, to watch, well, the highest level of polo play. Anyway,
yeah, no, you said it. That's great to hear, especially the way the league's been growing and with the international play and sponsors from all over the world playing now. You know, new sponsors this year playing as with the Global Port team. And Mikey Romero coming from the Philippines.
And also, which is a novelty, we've got a second lady playing in the World Polo League. Of course, Melissa Ganzi, creator, founder of the World Polo League, very much an active player herself, and also a big supporter of all levels of polo throughout. And now from Brazil, a young lady, Alicia Zeidler.
Mm-hmm.
So good to see her making her debut appearance, and not only in the World Polo League, she's also played in the 12 goal.
Yep, she's played a lot of polo. Very busy here at the Grand Champions Polo Club. And it looks like they're back for the courtesy change. And we'll have a knock-in. It's going to be Harold Del Carrillo to do the honors for Dazos LaFe.
Again, out to the left-hand side. Seems to be a bit of a set play here with Nick and Del Carril. But Visual Estrada, he's got other ideas. Comes in for a very early challenge. That will be picked up by the number 2 by Bilbao to send it back over to the far side, this time on the right-hand side. Nicely played over to Nick Roldan. He knows he's got a very, very strong player in front of him there with Alejandro Visual Estrada. Del Carril won't pick this one up. Instead, it'll be Richard Mille once again with that man with the number 2 on his shirt and the 10 goals to his name. Oh, a steal here. Nicely done by Del Carril. Alejandro Visual Estrada trying to steal the ball back. Left behind for brother Miguel. Taken by the number 2, McDonough, but I think he might have just cut across the right of way there of Hero Del Carril. We'll have to see what the umpires made of that. Either way, there was a whistle.
And Miguel brings it across and then goes up and down the field with it right here. And that's lesser angle going to the man following the ball. And that's going to be Harold Del Carrillo. As you have McDonough coming from the center at 45 degrees. And that will drop the ball at a 5A from the spot in favor of Dazos LaFe. 4-goal lead here with an opportunity. 2:29 left here in our second chukker. Here comes Del Carrillo.
He's another one of those solid hitters. Here we go, just from beyond the halfway line. A long, long ball. Look at that ball go, Dale. Is it going to go all the way? Well, it's going to go all the way, but not for 2 points, because I believe the number 2 there, Robbie Bilbao, had to put the finishing touch on that, but how close? Let's watch this again. Look, just a couple of yards in front of that halfway line. A monster shot. And then right at the front door, 2-touch. That's how you do it. Bilbao picking up a cracking goal here for Dazos LaFe.
Yeah, no, he hit that perfectly. And remember, he had the penalty 5A. He tapped that ball, and he tapped it towards the line. And he was still 3 yards behind it, and that was well hit by Harold Del Carrillo. We've seen a couple. Jesse Bray yesterday for the Casablanca team. He was hitting, he was going for it. We're going to see one here, I think, in the Triple Crown of Polo.
On the far side again, Del Carril couldn't pick that one up on the near side, but Bilbao will can't, gets it off the sideboards, leaves that for Nick. Well, he's another one of those monster hitters. Here we go, keeps it nice and low. Yeah, that was inevitable to hit some traffic, but Del Carril just comes in cool as you like and picks up his second goal here in chukker number 2.
Yeah, now the rotation working very well for Dazos LaFe. The numbers do not mean anything. Each player is rotating right here. You can see how David rotates around. They send Harold Del Carril through, and Robbie doing a great job up in front. Working hard as the number 2 should, opening holes for his teammates, and back-to-back goals here by Harold Del Carril on getting the big ball and the assist with Robbie, and now put away one by himself. On the move, it's going to be picked up here by McDonough and Pablo. Great steal. Comes out of the bowling here, full speed. Look, he's got 5 lengths on everybody. Cuts across the center, and then the finish.
Well, that's what he will do to you. Give him half a chance, but that's how quick they are, Dale. They win the ball from the throw-in, and that is the key part of this game, of course, at this level. You want to get possession and running up the field.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of that going on here. So that's going to go ahead and end our second chukker, so stay with us. We'll be right back for our third chukker play.
We're here at the Santa Rita Polo Farm where the PTF Polo ASSN Junior Tournament is being held for the first time ever at this location. And I mean, could you get a more beautiful venue? Probably not. The tournament includes players of all ages, starting with the youngest at just 2 years old and the oldest at 20 years old. So you've got all ages, all skill levels, and a whole lot of fun. Let's go check it out.
It reminds me of my days when I was in that position playing the kids tournament, and for us it meant the world. So I'm very happy to be here supporting my son and other kids as well, because I think they really enjoy this, and for them it's even more important than for us probably playing the 26 or the 22.
Well, that's a wrap on the PTF Polo ASSN Juniors Tournament at the Santa Rita Polo Farm. So much incredible talent coming up through the ranks. The future is certainly bright for the sport of polo. Now, for more information on the PTF, head to polotraining.org. And, of course, head to Chukker TV for all of our awesome content, including full game broadcasts.
Triple Crown of Polo live from the Tonkawa Polo Farm, Grand Champions Polo Club. And we have Richard Mille in the light blue jerseys, Dazos LaFe in the, well, multicolored jerseys, I guess you could call them, in the darker blue. And very fast, open game. Both teams passing and using each other very well. 3-goal handicap, and that's your difference, really. The 3-goal handicap that was given to the Dazos LaFe team being the 22-goal team.
Indeed, but they have done a very good job so far here in the first 2 chukkers. Dale, as you know, picking up 5 goals in a total of 3 goals scored by Richard Mille. But there is still a lot of polo to play. This is only the last chukker now in the first half. But so far, especially that first chukker, they beat Richard Mille 2-1. In chukker number 2 is 3-2. So if they can keep this sort of momentum up, and all the way to the end, then the, on paper at least, slightly weaker team here could come out victorious. We had a little situation there on the field early on here in chukker number 3. Nickrell there, just wanting verification and maybe an explanation from Gaston Dorignac on
they
that.
They still have a challenge now, the Dazos LaFe team. And remember, Richard Mille, they lost their challenge in the second chukker. And they're going to drop this one just right behind here. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see them go for it here. As Harold Del Carrillo, well, I mean, he tapped that first one. And he has the ability. So let's see if he can. Now he's just going to go ahead and keep the possession here.
Still a long drive downfield. Roldan slightly overshot, but David Ferracci will try and do something with it. No, he's going to leave it for Nick, and another interruption.
Big hit here by Harold Del Carrillo. And Alejandro pushes David across, and then Nick comes in there and actually it worked out for their David. If they did a little miscommunication, David just keeps riding out. That's going to give Nick the right of way, and Alejandro would have to pull out. But with both of them there, then David comes back across in front on the blocking foul. So penalty 5A, favor of Richard Mille. It'll be Estrada.
Out to the left-hand side, looking for brother Miguel. It will, however, be McDonough. Yeah. Nearly lost the grip on his mallet there after that little ride off. Coming in from David Ferracci. On the boards, that is brother to brother. There it is, Miguel passing it over to Alejandro. Alejandro now on the near side. Can he get round that final player, Robbie Bilbao, to get it towards goal? Well, he did enough to at least give an opportunity here for Nick Roldan to turn things around nicely. Still... I was going to say still Nick, but charging down the line. The number 4, Del Carrillo, the umpires are not having any of it. Picked up once again by McDonough. McDonough to try and finish it. Alejandro just hovering there, waiting for that ball to land at his feet. And then brother Miguel takes a shot on goal. And they're still working hard in front of goal. Alejandro for the finishing touch. Umpire raises his hand.
And Estrada will get it done. So everybody was in there working very hard. And then finally, Alejandro pulls it aside. Alejandro looking around, see if Nick actually fouls here, but it was actually clean. He actually stayed on the side there. They pulled the ball in. Maybe at the end of it, his horse's head goes across, but the goal scored anyways. They're going to go to Estrada, 8-4 now, and see if Richard Mille can keep the energy up here and go into the tent, tied up as they go into the corner here over on the sideboards, and we get another whistle on the play.
5 minutes and a couple of seconds left on the clock here in the first half. Remember, before you go and top up your Frappuccino, cappuccino, whatever it is that takes your fancy, just stick around because we will be bringing you the halftime stats again, of course, right at the end of the game. But we still have, like I say, a good 5 minutes left to play. So from the spot of 5A, quickly taken here by Del Carril. Out to the right-hand side. A little bit too deep there for Nick to get a piece of. Alejandro Novijo Estrada sends it back to where it came from. With the number 3, Miguel working it off the boards. Alejandro showing a bit of brotherly love, supporting him. And again, a whistle as that man with the number 2, Robbie Bilbao, on this play might have been caught.
Yeah, it's going to be picked up here, taken across by Miguel. It leaves it for his brother. And he's just going to block him. And remember the amount, well, the distance there between, good 2 feet, if you think about it. Length of the mallet, length of a player's arm with the horse. And most players try to take up half of that. And most time get away with half of it, but in the end, the smart players, keen players are going to be careful. So we are going to see, yeah, there you go, guys. They're teeing that ball up. on the other side. They might go for it here. They're looking for a good tee. And that looks like a great tee. And we know but Big he can hit the ball also, Alejandro. So once again, remember, 2 points worth anything hit from behind the line. Here comes Estrada. He's going to go for the warm burger, though, and look for the pass to his brother. Picked up, taken forward. It's going to be Roldan.
And he likes to run the ball. Look at that pony. Great pony he's on. Once again, not able to control it. Nice support coming in from Bilbao. Back to Nick Roldan, but did Nick possibly, because that was the appeal coming in from Miguel Navijo Estrada, cut across his right of way? Well, clearly the umpire seemed to think he didn't. There was enough space, and that, of course, is the key word here. Now then, Nick, very close. Wants to not get in a situation where he can take a shot on goal. Has it take him off him? Now, this will be an interesting one.
Yeah, battle here with 4 players. You throw a blanket all over all 4 of them as he slam it down here. Keep an eye on Nick. He is allowed to turn it under the neck to the left, right there. Alejandro clears out, and then Miguel comes around the front. So he's going to get called on the reaching foul, right-of-way violation. And that'll take us to our courtesy change. Shot Nick Roldan, his main trainer, Bally, there. And yeah, so I guess the wind today is blowing from the south. So if you're hitting towards the north, as Harold Del Carrillo was, definitely going to give you an advantage. Some intel from our IRO / third man, Steve Lane, who's at the field. And makes sense. As well, how many, now you know why they've been tapping those balls to the south. Yeah, exactly. We were wondering about that. And actually, Del Carrillo did also after hitting a real good one. So that could be the difference. Remember, you got to hit that one just perfect. Actually, the only player so far to actually hit it off the field was Jesse Bray.
Yes.
But it was wide to the left. And but an amazing attempt. Looks like we got everybody back from our courtesy change, our final courtesy change of the first half.
Been very thin on the ground, Dale. Just the one goal coming from Alejandro Navijo Estrada here in Chukker number 3. Average slightly dropping here towards the end of that first half. Remember, Richard Mille only 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 now in the third. Dazos LaFe 2 in the first, 3 in the second. I thought that they might latch onto that and keep those goals coming in.
Yeah, not bad time. We could be on the defensive side of the stick. They're going to get the open goal penalty here. But to be focusing now with the 4-goal lead, see if they can get it back to 5. Well done. Hero, very, very smooth stroke.
Yeah, that's his second penalty too. One he scored in that first Chukker out of regular play. So he's picked up his hat-trick, his first hat-trick here in this game.
You know, he is a nephew of Juan Bellini, right?
Did he? Did
you know that?
I didn't know that.
He is nephew of Juan Bellini, a director of operations for the Polo School, also former 8-goal player, and plays in the 6, 8, and 12 goal. Been playing this year with his son, Santos Bellini.
Who's been playing very well, really well.
He is playing amazing, yeah. I was wondering, very similar styles. He hit the ball very deep and just very, very strong player. So we're going to get a little break in the action here. You can stop the clock at 3:19. And looks like
and here we go then. Ball's back in play. Picked up by McDonough. McDonough with a nice long drive down the field. He was looking for Hildebrand. Nick Roldan will go into the corner to pick it up. Turns it nicely. Miguel Navijo Estrada needs to obviously go back in defense, back to the, at the feet of Nick, sending Alejandro in the wrong direction. This is a clever play by Nick, feeding the ball back to Del Carril. The ball will go out of bounds, so we will have a change of possession with a little over 2.5 minutes left on the clock here for chucker number 3. From the spot, quickly taken by Alejandro. Now then, again, Kenny very close to that halfway line, but now the chip shot over to McDonough. McDonough with another one touch, nicely done, looking to send it upfield to Miguel Navijo Estrada. Very quickly, Dazos LaFe coming back in defense. Number 2 there. Bilbao and, oh, that's Bilbao, beg your pardon, that was the number 4, Del Carril. Looking for Bilbao, stolen, nicely done, Hildebrand. Yeah, now then, he just needs to get around one more player. Hildebrand with a cut shot. Well, he cut that nicely. He's going to keep running it. This is a great run by Hildebrand. Will he keep that ball in play? He's going to leave it for Alejandro Navijo Estrada after all that hard work by Hildebrand. So well done, Jeff. But the finish from Alejandro Navijo Estrada.
Yeah, and this is what they want to get happening, to get Jeff Hildebrand into the game. He's mounted very well. He'll pull the team at the highest levels also, as you can see right here. And he actually had the opportunity, and he leaves it for the big gun to finish off. So great teamwork there, great communication by Hildebrand and Estrada. And that'll bring it to the 9-5. And 1 minute left here. Opportunity for either team to get one more. It's going to be Richard Mille. Look at this. They're going to press the attack.
Nice long drive from Miguel Navijo Estrada. Intending there to find Pablo McDonough. Roldan. Again, the quick stop, the turn, the one touch. But only as far as Miguel Navijo Estrada plays it down to the boards. He'd seen that Pablo McDonough had already turned, so Nick coming back to fight for possession. Del Carril. Now, he will play that deep into the half of Richard Mille. What will you go for now? The cut shot. There it is.
Man, that would have been a great cut shot. He cut that all the way from the side. He went for it, though. That's going to go and end our first half of play. So there you go, 9-5. And a very clean, open first 3 chuckers. So we'll send everybody off and meet with their coaches in their tents. And we'll be back for our second half. Here's our second half stats. And 9-5. Shots on goal. Not too much of a difference with the score. Remember, and it should be because there were 3 goals on handicap. Knock-ins, a bit more here for the Dazos LaFe team. So Richard Mille, they clean that up a little bit and do the math. They're right there within a goal. So throw-ins, they have dominated 9-2 and very close on the fouls committed, 6-5, and only 2 scored from the penalty lines. Everything else was a penalty 5, A or B. Good shot there of Nick Roldan. We'll go to send it off for a little break, and we'll be back here on CTV Sports for our second half of play. Stay with us.
We're here at Santa Rita Polo Farm cooking an Argentine-inspired fire meal for the Ganzi family. We have a 4-course meal tonight, and everybody will be tasting the food that we cook on the fire. We're here in Wellington at the Santa Rita Polo Farm. It's a beautiful place that we've come for several years. We love cooking here. The combination of our fire cooking with the table set next to the barn and to the horses just creates a beautiful atmosphere, and we love coming here and creating experiences every year. I think anybody that is new to these events is going to be very shocked right when they walk in, not only because of the grill setup or the fire cooking, but just the whole walk into this barn. you know, with the horses eating right next to you, and then the tables are set with candles. I just think the whole atmosphere around this place is beautiful and very shocking. With the menu, we always try to, you know, bring new things to the dinners, new items. Obviously, we try to source everything that's in season and try to do our best to keep the menu changing and flowing. I'm Augustine Malman, and welcome to my chef's table at Santa Rita Polo Farm.
My favorite part about AVSC is seeing all my friends. I have so many friends here at AVSC and USASA, and don't know what I would do without them. Just hanging out with my coach. Hanging out with my coach would be really fun too, but I just need friends too, you know? Everybody needs friends.
AVSC is like a really fun place because you get like jump to friends and get to ski a lot of places.
When you see kids, they are smiling, they are happy, they are laughing, they are telling jokes, they are just glowing with excitement, and that just makes me feel confident that we are really doing something right, and that's really what it's all about.
You know, this is AVSC's largest fundraiser for our club, you know, and I think the true importance of this is we're making a conscious effort to make sure that kids in the Roaring Fork Valley have the opportunity to get on snow, ski, and snowboard.
So I've been a part of the Aspen Valley Ski Club since I was 10 years old, and growing up in the valley was a really special experience because you're open to so many different opportunities, and one of which is being able to ski. And I never really thought that my dreams would come true, but now Aspen Valley Ski Club has allowed me to ski for a living, and I can never be more grateful for being a part of the club.
We love AVSC! We love AVSC!
The Lennox. When you walk into the lobby, you will see the tranquil world. You're getting out from the fast-paced world of the Miami Beach. We have an hotel of 119 rooms, all of them with different touches and different personality, very based on our greenery and eco-friendly environment. I'm very proud of our restaurant. It's Mediterranean inspired by our executive chef, Hernan Glucini, who is a Michelin star experienced chef with international background. Our pool, very small, very intimate. Remember, Lennox is the quiet and tranquil place in the craziness of South Miami Beach.
We were excited to start. The field was amazing. We knew that it was a really tough team that we had against. Mark always puts a really strong team in the field, and it was Gilberto's first game, tournament and everything, so happy that he did good. I used to play a lot with Pablo when I was younger. We were cousins and we played a lot of kids tournament together until we played the Open together. Then a few years we play against each other, and now we had the opportunity to play back again, and it feels really good. Have a lot of connection, and with Alejandro I played last year here with Melissa. He's a great defender, a great back. He plays really simple. He understands the game really good, so he makes things simple. And Gilberto, I think he had a really good game. Yeah, I think yes. Well, this is a single elimination tournament, so winning today was keeping one foot in the tournament. So it was really nice now that we have another game in the weekend to keep playing, and yes, a lot of fun.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. The WPL is a great tournament. It's a great league. You get some of the best players in the world coming to play it, and so it's a lot of fun to play.
It was a tough game. Just really happy we got the result. Really happy that, with this team, and happy it all worked out. Happy all these guys were able to come play, and just happy we're able to gel and play freaking fun polo.
I'm looking forward to this, playing polo, man. I love the sport. I love to be here in Wellington, and for me it's just a lot of fun to be here with playing the World Polo League and just playing polo and having fun.
Welcome back to CTV Sports. I'm Dale Schwetz.
I'm Jan-Erik Frank. Good afternoon to you.
And we're bringing you the Polo Live today from the Tonkawa Polo Farm, Grand Champions Polo Club for the World Polo League. And it's Triple Crown of Polo, 9-5 here at halftime. A 3-goal difference, so given to the Dazos LaFe team. And but this is what we see a lot with these 25, 26-goal teams. Yeah, and they just edge their way back up. Every chucker, they gain a little bit more. And by the time they get to the 6th chucker, they seal the deal. But this Dazos LaFe team has done very well on keeping the lead down to the end.
No, they've been very, very strong. They led from the very first chucker 2-1. They did the same again in chucker number 2, 3-2. It was chucker number 3. That was the first time that Richard Mille actually come out on top, winning that chucker 2-1. But they still have quite a bit of work to do. They're down by 4, and here we go then. Chucker number 4 just starting between these two teams. This match number 6 of the Triple Crown of Polo 2023. And as you rightly said, Dale, this should be an interesting second half here between these two teams.
Yeah, no, they got to keep the pressure up, as I said, because it's Richard Mille and getting Jeff Hildebrand involved at the end of the third. They added another dimension to the offensive attack. So once they get very comfortable with their play, they can be a true force to be reckoned with here. So I would be surprised if Dazos doesn't just keep the energy up right from the giddy up here. Keep the energy going and try to keep a 3 to 4 goal lead through the 5th and 6th chucker.
Well, Dale, looking at the players here with Robbie Bilbao, 6 goals, Nick Roldan, 8 goals, Del Carril, 8 goals, David Ferracci, 0 goals. That is, of course, there are some pretty big names in there. Now, yeah, they might be only 22 goals, but there are a few other teams within the World Polo League. Pampinota Biotricity, just to name but one, who are very, very strong. So I'm pretty sure that Richard Mille, remember, they lost their opening game to Audi, 8-9. They have their work cut out, and Once that man here with the number 3 in dark blue or in the blue shirt gets his mojo really going, Nick Roldan, you see him here doing his magic again. Roldan just working it, and that's what perseverance does. It normally pays off. And we have a situation there right in front of goal and our first whistle here in the fourth.
It'll stop the action here. Let's see. Nicky goes to the left side on the near side. Then he stays on the near side, flips it forward. And then it pops out, and sure where that ball actually came out. It looked like it might have went through the goal, but it must have bounced off Alejandro's horse's foot. Let's watch right. No, actually he stopped it. And then the ball gets popped back to Robbie Biabana. He might be talking about just to see if there was a foul on the play, because if there was a foul, if it would be a 1. So to check and see, but also you did have the goal scored, so they could go continuation and just go as a goal. So they're just going to go ahead and check on this right down in front. And it was a great save by Alejandro, but I think Alejandro looked like he was clean. Yeah, looked like he was clean on the first one, and then the second one is just a quick line change. And so that's just the main thing is if Alejandro would have gotten a stick on this one. Watch this great block there. That's clean. And when he comes back here, if he would have made a play on that ball there, it would have been a foul. It would have been a 1, but he didn't make a play on it. It's a quick line change, quick shot on goal. I like this. Just go with the continuation. So they can look at it and check it though, just to make sure. And here we go. So you go, Robbie Bilbao, pick that one up.
And that brings it back down to 5 goals difference. So as you said, Dazos LaFe not wasting any time to latch on to the way they were playing in that first half. Of course, making it a little bit more difficult now here for Richard Mille in this second half. Once again, Del Carril for Dazos LaFe, tees it up nicely. Yeah, he thought that Nick was right behind him. Didn't probably think that Alejandro Navijo Estrada, who we know plays a very, very strong number 4 position, was right there as well. That could have nearly gone a little bit wrong. But now, Richard Mille once again on the move. Tengola, Pablo McDonough just trying to tee it up. Del Carril, I like the tenacity that he comes in early to try and challenge. Well, he's going to get caught on this one. He doesn't quite understand. You can see there he's having some words of discussion with one of our 2 mounted officials. Here's that play again.
They come across center, and Pablo slows it down. And right there is just where he gets stuck. I mean, great first play. And just and that play there, the second play, because it gets hit right, it kind of comes at him. They'll allow him to clear out there. So, you know, even if he was to touch it, he clears out. They'll go ahead and just play. They'll play the advantage because the ball was hit there. But then once he tries to keep playing it is where you get the whistle. So take a look at it. He'll get it all lined out next time just to move out of there, especially when you're in the center of the field. Might as well play the advantage there because the team still has 150 yards to go. Now you're going to bring it down to the 60. They're going to get an opportunity at a penalty 4. It'll be Miguel.
Bouncing ball, always tricky to try and control. But he read it well, and on the move once again. Roldan leaves it for Del Carril. Roldan changing direction, going out to the left now. One touch. There's that long ball up to the front. Possibly looking for David Faraci. Up there he comes. Faraci overrides. And his number 2 was a little bit too close there, Bilbao, to pick up that ball. But here is Del Carril. Now then, maybe he can have a crack at this. Opens those shoulders, slightly topping that ball. Bilbao will want to try and steal it back just before Richard Mille turns defense into offense. He's done well. Sends it back into the danger zone, and here is Nick Roldan. Oh, Nick Roldan. I was just going to say, who can cut a ball like Nick Roldan? And then I think he just went a bit too far. Ball is still in play. Del Carril opens his shoulders, goes for a swing. And we have another break here in the play.
Yeah, that ball will go out of bounds. Looked like clean play to me. The Dazos LaFe team wanting a blocking foul or something, but everything looks pretty clean. We'll take a look at it. We can take a look at it. And they'll go ahead and go to the courtesy change here, as there was a number of players coming in to steal it away. And I guess because you had one player meet in there, and when one player met, the other player rode by and tried to make a play, but see anything wrong with that. Actually made the play in front of his own player. So, but they'll go ahead and line them up for a knock-in. We got one team on the opposing side, on the opposite side actually. So they're going to go ahead and it'll take us a few more seconds on the courtesy change here. Dazos LaFe is on the far north side of this field. There's a good shot of Jeff Hildebrand from Houston, Texas. Also plays out in Aspen. He has a beautiful Polo farm in Snowmass, the High Mesa we call it, and beautiful place there. He also plays at the Aspen Valley Polo Club, our sister club, in Carbondale, Colorado. Del Carrillo just having a few words with Gaston Dorniak, talking about that last play that we were talking about. They'll line them up for a knock-in once everyone's returned. 3:34 on the clock here. Well, they came out, like we were talking about, they have not let up at all. Dazos LaFe came out of the tent ready to go, and I do not think you're going to see them let up at all against this team. They're not going to get in a cruiser mode, even if they get 4, 5, 6 goals up, because Richard Mille has the ability and the firepower to change that very quickly. Here's the play here by Pablo, and he's got Jeff on the move.
And he will just try and take it off the boards. He are unlucky, a little bit of a bouncing ball there, as that will just go out of bounds. So we will have, I believe, our second change of possession here.
Yeah, bad luck there for Jeff. He gets good. He gets a near side mallet on it. Just comes off his horse's leg and pops out of bounds. It'll be Harold to do the honors for the penalty 5A.
Nice long ball through the center. Look at that. Nick Roldan was there, but so was Bilbao. One touch. Now that ball, as you would say, Dale, has got eyes. And those eyes, well, they don't deceive. What a great play here by Dazos LaFe.
You know, Robbie's going to pick up goal number 4, and he has been very solid today. And that is a spectacular shot by Robbie Bilbao. He does so much work on the field to release and blow holes open, as you can say, for Nick and for Harrow, and also keeping the pressure off Louis or David, who's ever playing. And so it's great to see him getting in the goal side, shooting some goals, getting some great goals today.
Alejandro, after that throw in on the halfway line, sends it back towards that halfway line. Here they come then. All the boys in the light blue, just holding fire before they take another shot on goal. Wants to make sure that all his attacking players are at the front there. Miguel Navijo Estrada working it and still working it round the outside. Here comes the under the neck shot to try and center it. It's sent back by Del Carril, but how far and who will be the first man on it? None other than Pablo McDonough. Stops, turns, has a look. Now remember, he could also, faking the shot there. I was going to say he could shot from anywhere. He now working that ball, and a deflection coming off the back. And I think we might have had a situation there from Robbie Bilbao.
Yeah, he's going to turn this ball back up. Remember, watch this. He goes one time here, and this is where Robbie's got to get left. Right there, he stays center.
Yeah.
And he's going to get called on the blocking. That first ball that goes to the right side there, Robbie's got to choose left or right. Chooses the right, then Pablo's got a clean shot at goal. He chooses the left. He got a clean shot at goal either, and that's why most players they try to get the edge if they can, but you got to make sure, especially when a player's moving the ball. One thing Pablo does, if you watch Pablo, I think a lot of it's by design. He doesn't. Once he starts moving the ball, he tries to keep the pace going, and so that gives the umpire the opportunity to say, "Look, you got to move out," because he's keeping the pace up. If he slows it, then there's a gap. So no gap, open goal. Alejandro, you're going to drive that one into the water down there. Yep.
Yes. So, Richard Mille picking up their first goal here in the second half, but still Dazos LaFe in the lead by 2-1 here in Chukker number 4. Overall, 11 goals to 6. And we are within the last minute of play here in the fourth Chukker.
If you watch Pablo, the more actually as this game goes on, he'll even pick the pace up a little bit when he turns the ball. When he goes to move, watch how quick he comes out of the hole to make sure that they give him enough space. Backed up cleanly by Alejandro, looking to get Jeff or someone going forward. Miguel's going to get there. Backed up cleanly by Nick, and met again by Alejandro. Ooh, stolen away by Robbie, but yeah, he called on that, crossing over after the shot. So that's going to get moved down here, and that's going to go to our next chucker. So we'll go ahead. That's a pretty simple call there. As you can see, Alejandro, and also Alejandro riding that line out with honesty and integrity. And so we'll send everybody off. And when we return, we'll see where they decide to place the ball, but it will be a penalty shot in favor of Richard Mille. Stay with us for our fifth chucker play.
Foot golf, it's a kind of life, and also it's a combination about golf and football.
So I got into sport through social media. Someone approached me on Twitter and said, "Have you tried it?" I'd never heard of it at that point. So I went to my local course and tried it and just completely fell in love with the game.
This is not as easy as it looks on your body. It's a lot of kicking. We don't normally kick this many hard kicks in soccer.
For me, this and the U.S. Open are the two top U.S. tournaments. It's something we all look forward to every single year.
Great fun, and I think everyone will enjoy it when they try it. You can't not have fun.
When you set goals at the start of the season and you're able to achieve them at the end of the year, I think I can speak for everyone and say when we set goals and we make the sacrifices that we make, which a lot of people don't see, and then it all comes to fruition, it's a good feeling.
I literally live, breathe foot golf.
The taqueria has all your polo needs, from the novice to the professional. We carry all of our equipment in multiple grades to fill a price point to suit the individual.
Okay, Fit Chucker action once again. This is the 2023 World Polo League Triple Crown of Polo Grand Champions Polo Club, but we're playing the game today at the Tonkawa Polo Farm. And in the Fit Chucker, well, they went into halftime, 9-5. And we were talking about each team coming out, knowing how strong this Richard Mille team is on 25 goals. But Dazos LaFe came out with big energy and outscored them by a goal.
Exactly. So apart from that third chucker, Dale, where Richard Mille actually won a chucker, as I was going through the numbers from chucker 1 through chucker 3, it's back to square one with Dazos LaFe winning that, as you said, the fourth chucker, 2-1.
As you can see, he's almost even here. If Alejandro puts this one away, they did foul right at the end of the chucker. So the first possession will be in favor of Richard Mille with an opportunity to get it back to 4 goals. Here comes number 4. Alejandro needs a shot with the honors. We didn't get much help from his horse there,
Nope.
but four-legged athlete, but Alejandro just laser beamed that one, and that is huge here for this 5th and 6th chucker. They're going to need all these penalty shots, but as you can see his mare, she went from left to right, but it didn't bother him at all. It was a nice, smooth little move from left to right. It wasn't anything, but very well hit.
He
by Estrada.
Yeah, he corrected it. He would have felt that. So a little under the next shot again from Alejandro Novillo Estrada. A little bit too steep there for Hildebrand to pick up. Del Carril will just let him override, will turn things around, and he's got a player going straight down the midfield there. Being marked up very well. Hildebrand coming back. That was not a clean shot, and Alejandro will be thinking, I'll have a piece of that, thank you very much. Now then, Alejandro up against Nick Roldan. Yeah, why not indeed try and lay one up? He was looking for McDonough, who came down the line, just couldn't pass the front of Nick Roldan. Ball comes off the boards, picked up straight away by Del Carril. Novillo Estrada, this time Miguel can all but just watch. Nick Roldan out of the air. What an incredible eye for the ball. Nick round the outside. Now can he beat Alejandro Novillo Estrada? Again, not quite a clean shot, but nicely picked up by the number 2, Bilbao, trying to just bulldoze his way through there, and cleared by McDonough. Picked up on the near side by Novillo Estrada, this time Alejandro. But still, Dazos LaFe keeping the pressure on. Nice little cut back in from Del Carril. He's got Nick behind him. And that looked a little bit borderline. A little backhand shot once again from Bilbao. He's found Del Carril. It's like they have a magnet connecting to each other now. Roldan, you can feel he's hungry. He wants that goal.
Good play, Robbie. Coming in to help him there. 2-on-2 there for Yan for a while. And Robbie just came from out of nowhere and saved that to keep it in the scrum, as you can say, is around and around they go. They keep battling out in the corner.
And eventually the ball goes over the back line. Now the question is, who did it come off?
Robbie was fired up. He was ready to get in there. But good teamwork again by Dazos LaFe. When he was 2-on-2 and it was in that scrum, I like the umpires letting him play there. You know, some dicey plays, but clean plays. And then the difference was Robbie coming in and adding that extra pressure. So let's see if each team, you know, will do that here in the last 2 chuckers. Picked up again and controlled by Del Carril.
Turned nicely on that grey mare. Look at that pony open up nicely. Oh, but again, an interruption in the play. You can see Bilbao there just having some stern words with his number 2, Pablo McDonough. Oh, I think he might have gotten clipped there.
Yeah, something happened behind the play there with Robbie and Pablo. I think he might have turned around there and maybe his mallet caught Pablo when Del Carril made that beautiful turn on the gray pony. Gray for yeah, that's unbelievable, man. That was poetry in motion. He'd made that turn so quickly, and it was off the other direction, and everybody else behind him was trying to turn around as quick. And so they'll probably take a look at this just outside the play, behind the play. You might be able to take a look at it on your replay there. Well, what happens outside, behind the play if a player turns? So you see what happens there. You know, they'll take a look at that just to make sure. And that's why you got to check all the angles on plays like this. Sometimes the plays, one camera is on the play with the players with the ball. And then, of course, there's plays that happen outside of the plays of the players with the ball. And in this case, you did have 2 players that were outside of the camera, but they not outside of the end zone cameras. And, well, the drone could be usually is on the ball, but sometimes the drone will be on the outside too, depending on the height that Austin's flying at. So there's a number of different ways for the IRO to look at that, but they are going to find dangerous riding against Dazos LaFe, and they'll get the penalty shot for the center here on the 5B.
Alejandro sending it straight down the middle. McDonough. Still Pablo McDonough under the next shot coming. Here it is. And yeah, wise decision by Nick Roldan just to let that one go over the back line to secure and ensure possession with a little over 4 minutes left to play here in the fifth chukker for Dazos LaFe.
Yeah, no, great play here by Nick. Yeah, and also the clock goes tick, 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 so might as well use any bit of that timing now with the lead. And another huge ball. This guy has just been crushing the ball today. Del Carrillo, he's got Nick. Ooh.
Oh, that's the second time he's done that.
Nicky tried hitting that one to Jupiter.
And back.
Yeah, he's a little bit harder, but they're still going to control it. And Robbie, this is what they've done really well. They've been working well, the 1-2-3 behind David. One player seems to have an issue. The other players, they're helping out. So good teamwork by Dazos LaFe today. And I said, and David's ready to go. He's already scored one goal in the first chukker. And remember, if there are any penalties that are behind, David Franchi's been out front, so they're going to move the ball. So their game plan has been working here. And just bad luck there for Richard Mille. They had a good attack going on the penalty 5B. And that one play ball, Pablo kind of took it to the right. Well, he was going to goal. It kind of shot off to the right, so he had to readjust his attack. And by that time, and that's where Dazos has been very, very energetic today.
Yep. Now, they have not let up at all. They've kept that momentum going. They've been consistent. They've been working very hard, all four of them. And they seem to be just connecting a lot better as a team.
Yeah, just like I said, they've just been getting there with energy. And we know the shots on goal, too. We'll see that in our stats. And taking some knock-ins. Maybe a few more. And they've been doing very well in the knock-ins, too, because Del Carrillo's been hitting the ball past center field on almost every one of them. But they're getting together. These three guys right here are very strong. As you said, if they get Jeff in there a few more times, and another setup here with Jeff in the front is you got Del Carrillo playing back, and he's so strong at the back. It's kind of tough to get Jeff open, and they're still playing. They're still keeping an eye on Jeff. They know how well he's mounted, and if you let Jeff go by himself, so they're kind of keeping an eye on each player who's ever rotating in the back is keeping an eye on Jeff, and that's kind of closing the door there, so they can see if they can get him open. Or, like I said, the three amigos behind them, Miguel, Pablo, and Alejandro, figure out a few ways to get one of them to be able to escape and get a shot on goal here. Still got time with, chukker and a half left. And they're going to get possession here on the knock-in.
So, can Richard Mille pick up the pieces here? They are down by 4. And they've been down by 5 in the second chukker. So they are definitely chipping away at that LaFe lead. Here we go then. Alejandro Navijo Estrada taps the ball into play. Sends it out to the left, looking for his number 2, McDonough. Now then, what is the team play that they've got up their sleeve here for this knock-in? Now we're coming into challenge. Another one of those very high, long balls. It's going to land and picked up very nicely here. Just a cutest of touches there from Miguel Navijo Estrada. Working that ball towards that LaFe goal. A hook on Bilbao. Now then, Miguel Navijo Estrada. Can he come round the outside and take a shot to goal? Well, he does exactly as I thought he would, but just puts it wide.
Well, it's a great steal here by Miguel. You notice how he comes in. There's a perfect way to show you how to do it. He gets his mount early, and then he snuck the ball between Robbie's horse's legs. Gets out in front, just off to the side. That's going to be interested to see the stats at the end, just on the shots on goal from Richard Mille because they're getting the opportunities now.
Roldan avoiding the hook from Novijo Estrada. Well, he comes out on top. He'll be happy with that. There's the backhand, a little bit short. Oops. An appeal from McDonough. Ball is still very much alive. Bilbao now will work it. Nice little hook there, just in the nick of time from McDonough. Left and picked up by Alejandro. Fakes the backhand. Still Alejandro turns it around the outside towards the boards. Now he knows he's got McDonough behind him, and he will leave it for exactly him. Nice deep ball down to the right-hand side. What will Alejandro go for? Well, he's just done a Nick Roldan. Went for the very difficult cut shot here. And that is Roldan coming straight down the new line. Will pick that one up. Gets it over center. Still Roldan. Now he could shoot from about there. Just wants to work it a little bit closer. And now he's going to make it harder. Near side. And just puts it out on the far post. Unlucky Nick.
Yeah, too bad David got caught back on defense there. Battling with Hildebrand on that true breakaway. Clean back shot by Robbie Bilbao to get Nicky going. But Nicky's so quick. And so he had to just go to a new play. I like the attempt. Goes to the outside. And a great attempt on the near side, just off to the outside.
Little interception once again. Dazos LaFe. This is what I'm liking, Dale. They're coming in early. They're trying to shut down anything that looks like it could be an attacking play. And this time, Nick Roldan, will he get rewarded? Saved on the doorstep. No, hang on. The flag is up.
Yeah, you're gonna get. Ooh, you might get a safety here. He's gonna save that ball. But that ball's gonna go out of bounds on a safety. So we're gonna start our sixth and final chukker with a possession in favor of Dazos LaFe. They will start with a 60-yard shot on the penalty 6. Stay with us for our sixth chukker. Okay, everybody, here we go. Great shot there of Jeff Hildebrand. And getting prepared for his sixth and final chukker. Jimmy Stewart, his head manager, trainer, and Polo player, professional player, manages both of his ranches, Polo Farms. Oh, actually, all three of them. Actually, one in Houston, Texas, and out in Snowmass, Colorado, and here in Wellington, Florida. A very good polo player himself. Beautiful four-legged athlete here that Jeff's on. And they need to get rolled. They need to keep it rolling here. Let's see, because we're going to start off with a penalty 6. So there's a huge shot here. We started the fifth chucker off with a possession in favor of Richard Mille, and a great shot by Alejandro Villastrada to actually make the penalty 4. That was the only goal scored in the fifth chucker, and it was one unanswered goal. And that's where we left 11-7. And now, though, we're going to start this sixth chucker off with a penalty 6. So 60-yard shot just off the side here. So this is not a big angle at all. And this guy has been hitting the ball very good today. Okay, Harold Del Carrillo. And he's going to get a high flag, and that's a huge goal right here again, Eric Frank, because now he's applied just a little more pressure to Richard Mille.
And that makes it a full dozen now for Dazos LaFe. Back to that 5-goal cushion that they've created and built for themselves. They had a 4-goal cushion at the end of the first, a 5-goal cushion at the end of the second. It went down to 4 at 3. Down once again to 4 at the end of the fourth. Same again. No, it was 5 at the end of the fourth, 4 at the end of the fifth. And now here in Chucker 6, again, 5 goals, the advantage. But now then, let's see what the answer will be from this man, Pablo McDonough. Wanting to go through and finish what he started. Clever play here on the near side, puts it through. Well, not surprised at all. Pablo McDonough coming back with a very quick answer here.
Yeah, this is just a Pablo play. As we know, we've seen Pablo do many times before. And, oh, man, he went through there. And Robbie, I know Robbie wants that one back because he had the opportunity there. I think he kind of went for the ball. He was going to go for the ball first, and then he would try to go for the mallet. And that's where Pablo, that 10-goal ability and control on the field, he snuck it away from him. But here you go, Richard Mille once again on the move.
Yeah, and they need to be moving a lot faster here in this sixth and final chucker. Nick Roldan will try and put a stop to it where he can. Runs into the back of Alejandro Navijo Estrada, but clearly not fazed by that at all. Trying to work that ball over the halfway line. A deflection, I believe it came off the pony of Pablo McDonough. Near side backhand shot from Del Carril. Ball is still very much alive and in action. Turned around by Miguel Navijo Estrada. He will try and hammer one down, hoping that, yeah, there he is. McDonough is still facing that way. But look at that. Again, Del Carril coming in, and this is what they've been doing, coming in early to stop anything that could be a breakaway attack here by Richard Mille.
Yeah, no, well, that's a great play by Del Carrillo. I mean, and, you know, to learn from a player, go to the man first. He picked up Pablo, who was mounted to the tees right here in his sixth chucker. Look at this bay mare. And he picked it up, pushed him wide. The black mare is playing super strong for Del Carrillo also, but then he also worked that ball back to the inside. But look at this. Good positioning by Alejandro. And that's power polo at its finest right there. Now, did that ball go through the post or not? And it might be just wide. Ooh, man, but what a great polo play here.
Great run.
And showing you on both teams also, yeah, we're talking about going to your man early and picking him up early and getting control of your man. And both teams demonstrating that at a very high level here in the sixth chucker. It'll be Del Carrillo.
Once again, possession, and that'll be the key word here. They still have a 4-goal advantage, but they'll want to hold on to that for as long as they possibly can. Yeah, needs to be careful. Miguel Navijo Estrada, there's that long ball downfield. Is it going to be too far out? No, and he nearly overrode it. Had so much space to get to it, and then when he got to it, just slightly overriding it. Unlucky there, David Faraci, but the idea was very good from Nick Roldan to get that ball deep into Richard Mille territory.
Yeah, you're right about that. David had a good run there. Just on a good pass by Nick. Everybody covering up very well on defense. Loose ball play. Turned around by Pablo. They're going to have to give him one here. Everybody gets out of the way. Pablo just walking the dog. Oh, it goes off a pony. He's still going to get an opportunity. And you can see Robbie not wanting to foul, and I'm pretty sure everybody talking to each other, hey, let's not foul here, guys. We're in a spot. We've done pretty well here in the first half of this 6-chucker. And so I like the thought process there by the Dazos LaFe team, not to get overzealous and make, stop the clock, give them penalties, give them easy penalties, maybe get a 1 opportunity for 2. Let's go to the Kersey change and try to finish this one out.
Well, 2 goals here, back-to-back goals from Pablo McDonough, and all of a sudden 5 goals has ended up being just a mere 3 goals, which is kind of how Dazos LaFe started, of course, with that handicap. Let's see after this courtesy change if Richard Mille can pull out all the stops and actually turn this around with just under 3 minutes to play. So time enough is definitely there.
Yeah, now here, this is where it's all crunch time. Forget about everything else. You got to win this part. Good shot of Bally right there. Again, Nick Rodin's top trainer, barn manager. And all the horses looking amazing by both teams. We've talked about that in the World Polo League this year. It's just been spectacular, the 4-legged athletes that we've seen. And that has given every player the opportunity to play at a higher level. All right, so, let's do the math. 2:58 here, so a goal a minute. You want to win this first bowling. Possession is big. So let's see if Richard Mille get the first one. Alejandro, and this is what they want. Get Pablo out front. Good recovery by Robbie. Left in beside, left behind here for Miguel. That ball's going to get popped off a player here, get into a scrum, and everybody's sword fighting. And this is taking time off the clock, these sword fights, so Dazos is not really minding that. Pablo still going to work it out. He's going to get out of try to get out. He's still got control. Pablo working it down inside the 40, walking the dog. Everybody getting out of the way. And he's going to get the high flag here. But it's going to work a true minute off the clock here. Just moving along. And both Robbie and Nick did not want to foul there. So they just want to keep it going. And here you go. Hindsight, you can say if they can keep the defense up a minute. Every time the ball gets bowled in here, they can edge this game out here. And if they get control, that will help. But look at this. Is going to take a good minute and a half off. Okay, so they did stop the clock, and they're going to go back to 147 on that kind of a mismatch there. And then, okay, as I said, I didn't know if there was a whistle there. You didn't want that to happen. As here we go, back to the possession play in favor of Richard Mille.
Navijo Estrada, Miguel, a deflection, and it came back where it came from. And now you have that whistle.
Yeah, and that's just going to be Miguel blocking Del Carrillo here. I know Pablo gets the ball, and I don't know if Pablo thinks it's called on him or not, but I think it's called on Miguel if you get a good look at it. Now, both teams still have challenges here. They both have saved their challenges in the second half. And, they'll just decide whether he was pulling out in time or not. So this could be a tough one. Now, this play, when you look at it, when this play, and this is what they're looking at, is does Miguel pull out as quickly as possible?
Yeah.
That's all. And then if he did, then Pablo's fine. And if not, then he'll be holding him up. So they'll look at that. They'll slow it down, and they'll take a look at it. If so, it'd probably just go to center. I don't think, unless David could be down there by himself on this play too. It looks like they are going to go to center on it.
Let's have a look at the clock then at 1:24.
So both teams still have their challenges.
Now then, Dale, you called it. I'm still waiting.
Yeah, I don't know if you go for it here. Well, he got the win behind him. And, if doing the math, Okay, so it was a challenge. So Richard Mill's going to lose their challenge, and a great challenge. Go for that. You got to challenge that play all day long. I mean, even though it's going to be a 5-center, I mean, you save it there. It's a really close play. Great challenge by Richard Mille. And look at this. He's going to go for it here. He's going to go for it, and he's got the – oh, wow.
Unlucky.
But, again, I think the timing here with 2 goals up, Yan, I'm not going to go against it. Might as well go for it here than the possession.
Of course.
Yeah, you know, if he hit it, and also it's the way they've been playing defense. So here we go.
Oh, a steal. A steal. Del Carril. Was there a whistle? Looks like there wasn't.
No, clean play.
McDonough picks it up. Now then. Ball's over the halfway line, so 2 points will definitely not be the case here. It's sent back by the number 2 here by Dazos LaFe Bilbao. But again, a chance here for McDonough to pick up possibly his 4th goal here in this chukker. Alejandro Navijo Estrada in front of goal. McDonough is behind. And just because he can, he'll hammer that through. So that is
and I'll tell you, what they've done really well is Dazzo in this last 2 chukkers, every time the ball got inside the 30-yard line, watch, they just get out of the way.
Yeah.
Watch, Nixon, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Look at Robbie rode off the field. But, I mean, you got to give it up to him there. I mean, that's just smart polo. You know, not to get caught on a 1, not to get caught stopping the clock.
Ooh.
And, you know, that's what's going to happen here. The clock time's going to run out on them. So, here you go, 1 goal difference, and, well, congratulations to Dazzo. They just managed their game very well here, and let's look at it. Well, there you go. Look at the shots on goal by Richard Mille, 19 to 16. They took more. Look at the knock-ins by LaFe, 7. They took 8. So they actually missed a goal more than the LaFe team did, than the Dazzo LaFe team did shooting a goal. Throw-ins. Well done, Richard Mille. Man, they won, 90% of them. And then fouls committed, 10 and 7. LaFe's got to clean it up just a little bit. But a lot of them are 5 A's and 5 B's because the penalties scored were only the 2 30s and then 160 by each team. So great stats there, guys. And, well, yeah, you know, based on that, just a great They took care of their 3 goals that they got on handicap, and then they managed a great game at the end. I got to give it up to them. Not fouling and making the opposing team win on the field, not from the penalty line.
Yeah, and so close. And what a great last chukker we saw there. 4 goals coming from the 10 goal at Pablo McDonough. So they clearly put up a fight. They wanted it bad, but as you said, Dale, Dazos LaFe, who in fairness were the more dominant team throughout this game. So I'm sure they'll be very, very happy. So congratulations to Robbie Bilbao, Nick Roldan, Helder Carril, and of course, David Frach. And I'm sure Louis Devlix will be delighted as well.
Yeah, well done. For Jan and Frank, I'm Dale Schwetz. I speak for everyone here at CTV Sports, where I say thank you for making us the leaders in polo broadcasting. And always remember, here at CTV Sports, we love the polo.